When we last left the party, after being expelled from school for forging religious documents, the young painter Phillipe and his auntie Lenora were left with a 200 gold fine that they had no way of paying off. Phillipe was approached by a delinquent friend of his by the name of Helene, who gave him a note promising work. Meanwhile, in the marshlands, Faelark sticks up a carriage and relieves them of their valuables before his longtime friend and partner Fitzpatrick approaches. The gnomish man is nervous that people may be catching on to their schemes, and after a heated argument, he sets Faelark up with one last job before they part ways. In a glade just south of Daleen, Yaga talks to an old pirate friend of hers, Captain Shawley. Work has been slow for Yaga and money is tight. Selling the occasional tincture helps, but it will never be enough. Luckily, Shawley has something she believes might help. She's received word of a job happening in the city of Taevale. The job notice reads, "To those willing to bend the law, I have the need for a particular set of skills. If you are interested, meet at the bar of the Spiral Inn. There's a round table near the bar. I've marked it with a small X. Sit there and I will contact you." And then it's marked TC at the bottom. But just who is this TC and what will they have them do? Welcome to Whack-A-Roll. Hi everybody and welcome back to Whack-A-Roll Vagabonds. I'm Luke, I'm the one who tells the story, the GM man.
Hello, I'm Tom and I'm playing the half-elf highwayman Faelark.
Hi, I'm Dora, or Dee, and I'm playing your boy Phillipe.
And I'm Al, I've still not been fired, and I play Yaga.
We're not going to fire you.
That's not what my producer says.
That's not what my agent says.
We started an arc about this.
Okay. So, last week we left off with you guys traveling to Taevale to go to the Spiral Inn where you're meeting with this informant for the job. The Spiral Inn is a well-known pub in the north of Taevale. It's built into the very walls of the city. Taevale used to be a fort town, so it has these big stone walls that surround it, and when the land of Suchao entered the era of peace that it's currently in, sections of the city walls were repurposed. There's an inn at the base in what used to be old military barracks, and a bar at the very top of one of the turrets. This outside bar is where you are meeting your informant, and it is warmed by a magically contained bonfire in a pit in the centre of the circular room, and is protected from the elements by a magic bubble projected around the edges, almost like one large semi-spherical window. Who do you, let's talk about how your characters are arriving. We kind of know how you were traveling there, but you have a note to meet someone at a time. When do you guys sort of appear? Let's start with Tom.
Faelark, I think, he'll pop his way in the bar quite happily. He'll maybe be there a little bit early. He's not actually used to being around a city where he can walk with his face uncovered, so he's kind of just enjoying that at the moment. He strolls up to the bar and quite happily orders a drink.
Nice. The bartender she's this quite friendly looking halfling lady. She's got a short red braid that falls on her shoulders. She's always quite cheery, although a little bit tired. She wears just a simple cloth dress with a brown apron with a few stains splodged on here and there from spilled mead or I was going to say meat juices, but that's not the phrase we want to use.
Meat juices.
Love me some juice.
You
Unfortunately,
when you approach,
that is the culinary term for them, so you just kind of have to live with it.
When you approach the bar, she kind of looks up at you and goes, "What are you having?"
I think Faelark looks up and down the bar and sees what some of the other patrons are ordering. A couple of dwarves have just ordered pints of meat juice.
What?
Which is decided is certainly not for him. But he takes a look at maybe a menu or something. Is there anything like that on the wall?
No,
no.
Not a menu.
Fuck you, man! It's D&D. I can do what I want.
There's a drinks list somewhere, maybe.
He looks at the menu. He looks at the menu that we're doing with our imaginations, And he orders a mojito.
Fine. You get like
It's a fantasy mojito.
Oh my god.
It's a moonlight mojito.
Let me explain the goddamn mojito menu.
Thank you.
There's like a ornate origami swan that you unfold to reveal the cocktail menu.
Fantastic.
Thank you. I'm a wordsmith. I'm telling the story with my words.
This is how we use our imaginations.
Yes.
Paint me a word picture. I'm so sorry, future listeners. We're coming into this in a kind of goofy mood. It's just gonna be how this session is.
We are in kind of a goofy mood.
No. Yeah, she kind of like the barkeep nods at you and kind of wanders off and gets you your drink. As she does, I think Yaga.
Yes.
It's your turn to enter the bar.
And I am also in an environment where I don't have to cover up my face for fear of being spotted by the law, so I'm just gonna... Well, actually, no. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna shuffle in, face uncovered, not really too worried about it, because I'm just an old lady, a very unassuming old woman. And because I'm going to die soon, probably, I'm just gonna go straight to the table and not dick about. Like, I'm just gonna go to the assigned seating and wait for the message.
That's a very defeatist attitude.
I think maybe because you're going straight to the table, you're more likely to kind of have a look around the bar itself. The bar is somewhat empty. There is this halfling barmaid who's working at the bar right now, serving a strange-looking elven gentleman, who has like, I'll say she has a name tag on because I just want to use her name. Her name is Shay. There's an elvish troubadour in a corner with a lute who's playing for a few pitiful copper coins. There's not too much energy in him right now. He's quite solemnly just like strumming away gently, providing a nice atmosphere, but like it's not like he's really putting it all into this performance. And there are a handful of drunkards. At one table on the opposite side of the room, there's a pair of human gentlemen just chatting over a couple of pints. There's a pair of dwarven gentlemen with pints of very odd-looking liquid. And another gentleman that appears to be just completely passed out at one of the benches. He's wearing quite a large cloak, which makes it kind of hard to see any features there. So, you're just going to chill? Nice. In that case, Phillipe.
So Philippe's going to sort of strut his way in, and as he heads up towards the bar, he's going to be sort of like saying hello and waving to people and being like, hello, good sir, I hope you're having a very good time. And as he gets to the bar, and his head is just over sort of the bar bench thing.
There are a handful of stools for the shorter races, like goblins, gnomes, and all that sort of thing around the area if you want to stand on one of those.
Yes. Make him feel
nice.
Taller. So he's gotta hop up on one of them, and in the process he's gonna be like thinking, wow, this place has gotten really upmarket. There's now little origami swan menus, you know? And so he's gonna wave over the bartender and proclaim very loudly, can I have a single alcoholic drink? And then he's going to sort of lean over and whisper, make that a warm honey water, please.
when Shay arrives, is this somewhere that Philippe has ever been before? It is in his town.
Philippe has probably gone in there with his aunt, you know? So he's probably been there a couple of times, maybe not in these sort of circumstances, unless he's had jobs that organise themselves around it. Probably not. It's probably more with his aunt, or if anything.
Yeah. Okay. Shay kind of saunters up. As she does, she drops off a very nice looking tall glass with one of those wide thingies, the traditional cocktail glass. It's got a few mint leaves in it. A gentleman a couple of seats down from you. And what she kind of looks at you and goes, and what age are you?
I am old enough for the drink that I ordered. The warm honey water, please. And he's constantly just gonna be reiterating that. He wants to make it seem like he's getting an alcoholic drink, but he He wants warm honey water.
I'm sure he's tried making it to like a 10-year-old. It tastes fucking awful.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I roll to see if Faelark either he overhears this or misses it completely?
Yeah, give me a perception check. Yup. And as you do that, the Shay kind of like looks at you and goes, "Okay, one alcoholic beverage," and then winks.
Like a huge like moves her whole body to wink.
Yes.
It was a 19.
Yeah, you know exactly what the hell is going on here. I think you hear him whisper, like you hear Phillipe whisper like the actual order, and you also see Shay like she just like pours the drink right in front of you. You're like, that's not alcohol.
This little boy's lying.
When you say that, Shay just looks at you and goes, "Yeah, no shit," and then just hands the drink over to Phillipe.
Philippe's just gonna be beaming, sort of like holding the drink with like both hands, and he's probably gonna like do like one of those little hops off the box stool thing, and head over to the table.
Mm-hmm. At which point, you see an old lady sitting at the table.
Hello, are you one of the people who I'm meant to meet?
I'm looking up and down this child because he's a child.
Philippe's just gonna be sitting there like with the biggest grin, just like big old toothy smile.
I know for sure I'm supposed to be here, Wayne, but I'm not sure if it's maybe a bit too dangerous for a wee one such as yourself.
This is the table with the X, no?
If you know what you're doing, take a seat.
And Philippe's gonna sort of like plop down like awkwardly close to Yaga.
Oh no.
And just sort of like, you know when someone's like sits a bit close and they're like they're faintly touching you.
No.
And
I'm
Philippe,
not having it.
This collective sound is just the sound of social anxiety right now.
Kids don't understand boundaries. And Philippe's just gonna sort of plop down and sort of sit there smiling, like you know how some kids like they just continue to smile, and it's on that borderline of cute and creepy.
Nope, not on a borderline.
Oh look, I hate it.
It's just creepy.
It's just bad.
I'm not having this. I'm gonna shuffle over just like a foot. So there's like a full foot at least of space. I'm assuming this is like benches at these tables.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go with benches.
Yeah.
Faelark, do you join them or are you gonna wait?
He's when he notices that Phillipe is heading towards this table that's been marked, he's kind of like, okay, and he'll head over there as well. And as soon as Yaga's moved up to kind of make room, he's gonna sit in that space.
Come on, it's barely enough space for an ass.
Well, an ass just made its way in, so...
Oh!
Is this going to be like one of those awkward things where everyone sits on like one side of the table,
It's already
there's like
that
a whole
awkward
other
thing.
side?
I also like the fact that we've just confirmed that Faelark is not a thick boy.
No, Faelark is not a thick boy. Hey guys, what's shaking?
I do not touch people, and I've had enough of my fill, thank you very much. I'm going to move round to the other side.
Alright.
Phillipe is just going to sort of like face Faelark and hold out his hand like ready for a handshake, like, hello, my name is Phillipe, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too, my friend. And Faelark will give a shake with gusto.
Is it one of those sort of shakes where the kid kind of like shakes too because you're doing it a bit too much, and Philippe's a small boy?
Yeah. And your name, madam?
You may call me Yaga.
Yaga. It's a pleasure. My name is Faelark. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did we all get the same missive?
I got a missive.
Faelark will pull the sort of corner of the parts from he received out of his inner jacket pocket, just with the seal showing.
Phillipe would probably do similar, but after like a couple of other bits of like papers and little sketches, like pulling them out. You know when you're searching for your bag or something, you're just constantly pulling shit out until you finally find it.
and I'm going into my the sleeve of my cloak because I'm a mysterious old woman.
Like, I think, like, you know, like, we get this kind of, like, shot of the three of you kind of, like, holding up a, you know, like, this seal, at which point, you hear, like, the church bells start to chime, 10 p.m., the time that you're supposed to be meeting. At which point, Shay, the barmaiden, approaches the table. She has a roll of parchment in her hand, and you can already see, like, the same red seal on it, and she kind of looks at you and goes, "Are you lot here about the strange lass? The one with the funny hat?"
Yes.
So we're just out and out lying then. Okay. Yes.
She goes, "Okay," and then goes, like, you know, hands you, like, she holds out this piece of paper, and she's like, I was just paid 5 gold to deliver this to the table when the clock struck 10.
Did whoever paid you say anything else?
No, she said it could be any number of people, and that, like, if the seal was broken, I wouldn't get paid, and she would know.
Did you catch anything else about her appearance other than the funny hat? Perhaps her race or class?
I like. Give me 1 second. Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, that's a 3. Even with my skill, I don't think that'll do. Where's my notebook?
What about her alignment? Did she seem particularly evil?
Oh, chaotic evil for no.
It's very rude to make such accusations based on just meeting a person one time. You should be ashamed of yourself.
She kind of, like, shrugs and goes, "It was a busy time. I you know, she came in quick. She came in and she gave me the job, and it's 5 gold. I'm not gonna sniff at that."
Well, all right, but you think about what you've done.
If something goes... I mean, I can't speak for them, but if something goes wrong, your name will not pass my lips.
I've forgotten your name already, so I don't think I even actually got told it inside canon.
It's so annoying. She's wearing a name tag.
Oh, so we can do name tags, but we can't do menus. I get it. This is me, Faelark, talking to the GM in media res.
So, I think at that point, Tom, can you please give me a dexterity saving throw?
I thought you were just going to say, Tom, can you please shut up? I will make a dexterity saving throw, so it's just my +2 modifier, and that means it's a 12 on that.
Oh, that's a fail. The anvil from the GM hits you in the face, your character dies.
Jesus.
This might just be a goof.
I thought you were going to make me... Fuck you.
Shay excuses herself and she drops a bit of paper on the desk and, like, returns to the bar.
Okay.
Shall we?
Who cracks it open?
Dibs.
Yaga takes the letter and cracks it open. Are you reading it out loud, or are you just going to read it to yourself and then just, like, throw it around?
Pass it around the table.
I'll read it aloud, but not loudly. So, like, you know, it's just for the three of us.
I think that you start to read out the note, and you get, like, halfway through the first line before... I think the man approaches you from behind. The other two see it, but the first thing that you experience with this gentleman is the smell of, like, wine on his breath.
Oof. See, we sit on the right side of the table, so we saw him coming.
Just if you hadn't moved across, everything would have been fine. And you hear, like, this voice over your shoulder, and it's just... A couple of pennies for a bloke down his luck looking for a few drinks to forget about his worries, eh?
Philippe is gonna dig into one of his pockets and give the guy was a copper enough?
A drink would be maybe 2-3 coppers.
Yeah, Philippe would give 2 or 3.
Yeah, this is the hooded gentleman from before. He's still wearing that big, thick, grey wool cloak. Like, it's like, you know, that very scratchy kind of wool. He's a drow gentleman, or a dark elf, and you can see that now as he is facing the party, with quite, like, silvery skin and hair, like this white hair, although, like, it's quite knotted and greasy. He's just generally a little bit unkempt, with, like, dirt all over his clothes and skin. Yeah, you hand him over like a handful of coppers.
As Philippe hands it over, he'll be like, "Here you go, sir."
He kind of, like, holds up the copper coins, like, looks at him for a second, then kind of, like, holds you and goes, Bless you, sir."
Faelark will hand over some of the change from his drink as well.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to get in on my get in on my little biz here.
He asked all of us.
Yeah, at this point, like, he kind of, like, he's, like, now cupping his hands out to the table, you know what I mean? Like, he's, like, to collect all the coin that he's gathering, and he's, like, he's grinning, like, this unkempt, like, grin. There's, like, chips in some of his teeth.
Oof.
And I think he kind of, like, eyes Yaga as the other two have given them money.
I'm an old crone. I will glare at him.
Please, it's been a long time since I've... At this point, Shay's just, like...
Since you've what? Had a drink?
He was going to say eaten, but at this point, Shay arrives and he's kind of like, "Come on, mate, leave these people alone," and like tries to drag him away from the table. The beggar kind of like he kind of like tips an imaginary hat. He's like, "Bless you, sirs, I'll use it well."
He came over asking for money for a drink. I cannot be faulted for that.
No, entirely not. Don't worry about it. But like,
This was your first karma decision.
yes.
You've gained negative reputation.
Well,
He will remember
You
that.
are no longer welcome in Goodsprings.
Yeah, the Shay takes this drunkard to the stairs, and he is like escorted out of the inn. In essence, a couple of minutes later, like a minute later, she comes back up the stairs alone. Back to the note.
thank you for your interest. I look forward to working with you all. However, there is a slight catch. As your to-be employer, I must be sure you're up to the task at hand, so I've created a small series of tests to guarantee that you're the right people for the job. I'm waiting for you in the sewers of Taevale. Do not worry, they're of sanitary conditions. I'd raise an eyebrow at that. Find me. The job for which I am hiring you is a dangerous one in nature, and so shall that be reflected in this test. Be warned. As compensation, I will be adding an additional 100 gold to the fees for the job, paid in full when you complete the test. One last thing, do not be seen. Yours faithfully, T.C.
Tim Curry.
Top Cat.
Terry Crews.
Hang on, Luke. Luke, make sure you cut this waiting period while I think of more.
Ted Cruz, Zodiac Killer.
Zodiac Killer.
I was about to say that would be ZK.
There's more.
There is more.
There will be
tons
more.
You mean there's more people in the world with the initials TC, Dora? Is that not everyone?
Too cool.
What?
Yeah.
2 cats.
Hey guys, I
Tom
think
Collins.
we have.
Someone just called the Canadian.
Oh, it's better than their actual name.
Tom Cruise.
So, you guys know that the sewer entrance is behind the town hall. I've provided a map for the people, but I'll try to do a quick explanation. City is rectangular in shape, separated into kind of like 2 segments by a river that flows through the town, which is obviously where this sewer grate will be. You know, lead into a flowing water source because poop. There are a few gates to the city. There are a few points of interest, like there's a gallery and a library in this town. The party are in the Spiral Inn, which is in the northeast side. I cannot do east or west by heart.
No, I still do never eat shredded wheat.
That's exactly the same one I do!
Yeah.
Yep.
Best one.
Are in the northeast corner of the city, in the Spiral Inn, which is in one of the towers of the city walls. The town hall is pretty much bang on in the center of the town, with the river running behind it.
Okay. Any of you fellas from around here?
Me. And Philippe is going to have his hand up in the sky, sort of like waving it.
Faelark looks at Yaga with a kind of questioning expression, whilst Philippe's waving his hand around. But when it's clear that Yaga doesn't have an alternative to this, he'll turn back to Philippe and is like, "Alright, little man."
You can count on me. And he's just going to sort of point to himself, or sort of like, yeah.
The note does specifically say to avoid being seen. Can you do that?
Does Philippe know any sort of like, you know those kids, how they know like the weird sort of hidden routes kind of thing, because kids always explore everywhere.
I would say this is still a stealth check. It's not a stealth check that you're making now, but rather like kind of like retroactive one.
You say? Ooh, Sweet. So that is I can math, 18.
The town hall is opposite the church. It's opposite the river from the church. And that church, it just happens to be where Phillipe goes to school. So, there's certainly, a whole number of little hidey holes and little routes around that will help you guys sneak through.
So Philippe's gonna chirp up. So I know a number of routes that we can take. Do you reckon it's the whole us leaving from here we must not be seen? Or when we get to the actual sewers, do you reckon it's us not being seen going into them?
I think we should just start from now, just to be on the safe side.
Probably a good idea.
So if we're going to attempt to sort of sneak from the moment we leave, is it the time of day where there's going to be loads of crowds or people, or...?
It's 10 p.m. Well, how about this? You're in an open-air bar. You could just look over the edge and spiral in.
Yeah.
I look over the edge.
Give me a perception check, and any and all of you can give me one of those.
Not a nat 20, but a 20.
21! Getting all the good rolls out before we actually start.
18 again, and I'm ready for us to just crit fail constantly.
With our lowest result being 18, for sure, there are not many people out and about at this sort of time. You maybe see a couple of beggars or drunks on the streets outside, and there are a handful of city guards. Taevale doesn't have a dedicated military force, but rather mercenaries, a mercenary guild called the Old Guard that form up the thing. It's like a volunteering thing that you would get maybe food vouchers or a handful of gold for doing a couple of shifts. You bring your own gear and whatnot. It's not particularly busy. You think it will be not too difficult to kind of plot a route, especially with Phillipe kind of noting his sneaky route. Could you also please give me a stealth checks with advantage?
What is advantage?
Advantage is you roll twice and you keep the highest result.
17 altogether.
Yeah, boys, 17.
My first
Yeah, boy.
one, I also got a 17. No, 18. And this one's a 17.
God damn it, Al, why couldn't we all be together on this?
You guys, I think Phillipe takes the point and you guys sneak around the back of the church through, the headmaster's flower garden kind of thing, trampling a couple of,
How
his
dare you
prized
imply I
tulips.
would destroy nature?
Phillipe is probably going to destroy some of it.
No.
He just got expelled, so, some kids egg buildings or TPN.
That's on my personal karma note. Hates flowers.
Can I roll dexterity to stop him?
Do you want to stop? It would be a strength. It would be strength to stop him. You can't stop him by being swift about it. You'd have to kind of grapple the child.
I don't have good strength. I'm not gonna.
That's a 12?
Dora, could you please give me a contested strength check?
Oh, jeez. So
You both suck at strength. Don't worry.
Okay, so I've got a -1 on strength. That's a 3.
Okay. You kind of I think you don't exactly grapple the child, but you kind of push him away from the flowers.
No, I pick him up by his armpits. By his underarms. Just no.
Whee!
No.
Phillipe does not care that he is being manhandled. He's just this is my life now. Whee! Yep. And after a while, you do get to the riverbank. You can see the grate down below. It is, it's a pretty standard metal grate from which dangles a large rusted padlock.
Did you know this to be locked, Phillipe?
Did I know it to be locked?
Does Phillipe go exploring in the sewers very often?
No.
Kids go all over the place.
I have thieves' tools, which means
Hey.
surely lockpicking.
It's a sleight of hand check. Give me a sleight of hand check to try pick the lock.
Yeah, bitch. And that is a 17.
You wiggle the picks in and the cylinders pop pretty quickly and the lock just springs open. The sewer, you find yourself in a large circular room. On the floor, instantly you guys can see a series of incredibly obvious tracks. There are 2 passageways in this tunnel, one leading off to the immediate left and one leading off to the immediate right.
Okay, which way do the tracks go?
Yeah.
Give me a survival check.
Ooh, can I do survival as well?
Yes, you can all give me survival if you want
We
to.
can all do it, how fun. That's plus 3. 21 again!
23!
Is that not 20?
No, it's 18 plus 5 because it's wisdom plus proficiency.
Wow. And Philippe, did you give us one as well?
I rolled a whole 10.
I think with those results, Philippe's kind of like, they went that way, pointing down the passageway to the left. Meanwhile, Yaga and Faelark are maybe more experienced with double tracking. It's obvious that they made these tracks and then kind of wandered back along them. It's not particularly well done. It's quite a rushed job. And after you kind of decipher how this like trickery is done, you realize that this maze has one ending to it, and it's the opposite wall. Just a seemingly empty wall. When you find this trail's end, you will notice that there's a faint flickering of light coming from a loose brick.
Right, let's shuffle that brick, lads.
Oh, well, okay then.
You, we'll say Yaga, because she was the one first at it, pushes the brick through, and then it like clatters to the ground behind it. Do you want to just like reach through, or do you want to have a look?
I want to have a peek.
Okay, there is a candlelight passageway. It goes forward for a little bit, and then you can see a stairwell starting to descend downwards. It does not appear to be occupied.
Is there anything that might look like a sort of, I don't know, a button that will make the wall turn around or something?
A lever.
There's nothing that you can see. It doesn't feel like any of the other bricks will, push out or anything like that.
Alright.
Idea.
Go for it.
Yeah?
So Philippe's not going to say anything. He's just sort of going to tug onto Faelark's sleeve and hold onto it and just shrink.
Okay, yeah, Faelark lifts his arm up as he sees this tiny boy getting tinier, dangling from his jacket sleeve, and kind of like quite quickly puts his other hand underneath, just in case, like a little church mouse.
You catch the boy.
I caught the boy.
Whee!
And Faelark just immediately pops Philippe into his mouth and crunches.
No!
Cronch.
God.
You gotta live for that small boy crunch.
Well, you're certainly full of surprises.
So it's just going to be his tiny little voice saying,
Yes, sir.
You can explain that one to us later. For now, and he just kind of it pops him like into the space in the wall. And what are you planning to do next?
You will see. I'll see if there's a way to get you guys in.
and Philippe's just going to sort of... by the way, I hope that the wall on the other side, is it vaguely curved so Philippe can slide down it all real
Oh
cool?
god, no! How do you intend to get down the wall, Dora?
Faelark reaches into his explorer's pack where he has, I think it's like 30 feet of rope.
I suppose, yeah, the rope, like, Philippe could just hold on to rope. Yeah, so Philippe's just sort of like...
I mean, unravel the end and tie it around yourself if you want. I'll put you in a goddamn monkey knot.
straddle the rope.
Okay, yeah, you climb that, you get, like, roped down to the other side of the wall, and pretty much the second you cross through the now poked through brick, you will see that there's a handle on the other side of the wall.
Yes. Right, so releasing myself, because obviously tiny Philippe isn't going to do jack with that handle. Philippe is going to be a big boy now, and grow in size.
His voice started breaking.
I'm going through puberty.
Oh, let's
There's changes going on in Philippe's body.
So Philippe's going to return to his normal size and yank the handle.
When you do, the wall pretty much, like, disassembles itself brick by brick and kind of stacks itself either side of the passageway, revealing an archway that the party can walk through.
Oh, geez, it's like that one Wizard Boy movie.
You guys head down this, like, candle-lit passage. The stairway down leads to an opening after maybe, 10, 20 steps. And there's a large stone chamber. The chamber is lit by a series of torches and sconces around the room, but it is a mess of dust and broken crates. It looks like it might have been some sort of warehouse at some point in its life. But it has long since been used. Most of these crates are toppled over, broken, and you can see that they're empty. However, there is one crate in the center of the room. It's obviously different from the rest. It looks a little bit more recent. The opposite wall to you guys has a door in the center of it. A large oak door with two quite strange-looking padlocks, seemingly pressed into the wood itself. Like, not like dangling on anything, but just like padlocks in the wood, not really connected to anything. Magic. It does have a handle as well. These padlocks have no visible place to insert a key. Either side of this door, there are two large stained glass windows, which kind of lights this room in like a series of mismatched colors. There are torches that you can kind of see flickering behind the glass. The last thing of interest in this room, there is a dusty humanoid figure propped up against one of the walls, made entirely of brass.
Ooh, I wonder if that will come to life later and try to kill us.
The thing is incredibly dusty, and even like without a knowledge of how these things work, it's broken. It's missing a leg, and there's a panel open in its chest, revealing it's hollow on the inside, except for a few like loose, broken wires, and there's a few like handfuls of screws and cogs on the floor around it.
Oh, poor Rob. What do the stained glass windows depict?
They're not of any particular scene or anything like that. They are just like a miasma of shapes.
Lazy architects.
Are we able to get to the torch that's behind the glass?
It does appear to be like quite well fitted. You would probably have to break the glass in order to get to the torch.
Might I draw our attention to the crate, lads? We all have shite strength, so let's all try and work together and see if we can get this thing opened.
No, I would probably say chest rather than crate. It's my bad in the description, I'd say. There's definitely a hinge on it. Does this change how you want to approach it, or do you just want to open the box?
I mean, I'll just open the box.
Okay, when you open the box...
Slowly.
You open the box slowly.
Apparently.
We don't know what's inside. It could be a...
Mimic.
The very moment that you start to open this box, it begins to glow with an eerie green light.
Oh dear.
As you reveal a series of runes written around the lip of the box. As it does, you hear this ungodly, like, screeching, scratching sound of glass against glass. As the stained glass windows slowly pop out of their frame and create two loose humanoid figures out of just shards of floating glass forming a humanoid body.
It's the first boss from Medieval.
I was about to say that, and I was waiting for Luke to stop. Oh.
Finally, the fire from the torches behind it lifts into the air to create like this glowing, fiery head. Could we all please roll initiative? Well, hello, friend. I hope you're having just the most wonderful day. I'm interrupting here just to give you guys a couple of quick tidbits. Firstly, if you want to get in touch with us here at Whack-A-Roll, you can do so easily by emailing us at whackaroll@gmail.com or by following us on Twitter and Instagram at Whack-A-Roll on both of those. Second thing, we want to quickly talk about our Patreon. Making a podcast is super cool, and we want to make, like, the best one ever. And any support you lovely people can lend us is infinitely appreciated. Whether that support comes from leaving reviews on iTunes or any other such place, to becoming a Patreon patron by donating a sum of your choice each month to our cause. We have reward tiers ranging from blooper reels to copies of my DM notes, but really, anything you can spare is greatly appreciated. Anyway, enough of all that. You want to hear the party fight weird glass monsters. Thanks for listening.
Oh boy, it's a nat one.
Now, luckily, you cannot crit fail in initiative.
So that'd be a 3.
Phillipe, what'd you get?
I got a 18.
And Yaga?
11.
There's the nat 20.
Ooh.
I get the first nat 20 of the day.
Great.
Of the series. I'm cool. One of them doesn't even finish, like, you know, kind of like forming itself properly before it strikes forward. And you know what? We'll make your negative for rolling that nat 1 that this thing goes straight for Faelark.
Yeah.
Does 21 hit your AC?
Actually, it doesn't because I don't want to get hurt anymore.
Okay. This thing swings its entire arm at you, and like you kind of like raise an arm to block, but it still scrapes 5 or 6 shards of glass across that arm, dealing 10 points of damage. Next up in the initiative is Phillipe.
I'm thinking about using some mad physics.
Okay.
So they're all bits of like stained glass, yeah?
Yes.
And I say mad physics, it's more me giving a bit more elaboration on one of my spells. So I want to use the colour spray, which blinds them, but I want to purposely choose the colours. So you know how in physics, if you got like a rainbow and you spin it around really fast, it goes white?
Let's just pretend that I know anything about physics.
Essentially, I want to do all the other colours, spray a variety of colours, and so like it blinds them because they just see white rather than all the different colours that they are. I'm just trying to be fancy.
Okay. I will read out the spell description while you roll the dice, Dora. The way this works is she rolls 6d10, not 10d6. That total is the amount of hit points of creatures that affect the spell effects. So in essence, if she rolls 20 and both my creatures have 10 HP, then it would affect both of them. However, if both of them had 11 HP and she rolled 20, it would only affect one of them as they both have 11 health, and that 20 would only cover one of those HP pools.
Hopefully I don't roll shit. I got 34.
There are 2 of these creatures. You are able to blind one of them with that spell. The one that's attacked, and there's also one that hasn't attacked.
I'll probably go for the one that hasn't attacked.
It is now the blinded glass creature's turn. It doesn't really know where it's supposed to be standing. And it kind of steps into the center of the room near the chest, and its head starts to glow a horribly bright color. Could y'all please give me a dexterity saving throw?
13.
17.
That's a whole 10.
Faelark and Yaga, you both kind of like get the time to kind of like shield your eyes before this bright
This little
white
kid's
hot...
getting fucking bipped. We're just like sat here like, supposed to be you, kid.
As this the fire kind of like explodes outwards, and you look directly at this bright white hot flame and take 12 points of fire damage, Phillipe.
Oh my god.
Shit, dog.
It is now Yaga's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna animorph.
Into
An elk, obviously.
Nice.
My battle creature.
Yaga just suddenly like her body just like she kind of like lurches forward, and then suddenly antlers sprout out. So Faelark's just seen one of his party shrink and the other one turn into an elk.
Why am I the only one that can't turn into things?
Should have been better. I mean, I can't speak now, but you should have been better at picking glasses.
Faelark, it is your
As
turn.
part of Faelark's homebrewed kind of abilities and stuff, he has a trait called Face Skin, which means he gains temporary hit points every turn, equal to half his sorcerer level. So I get 1 back.
Yes.
So I'm on
one.
He's doing marginally better. One of the grazes from the shards of glass he's just been raked with just sort of heals over before his eyes. He's like, great job, Skin. Yeah, not keen on these guys. Instead of grabbing one of the daggers that he'll have strapped to his side, he goes for a blackjack, and he's gonna strike out with that. That would be That's a 15.
That is enough to hit.
Oh, thank God. It's a d6 bludgeoning damage. 5.
Is that including your dexterity?
Oh,
you had your dexterity
7 then.
bonus to damage. 7 damage, and this is the one that's on you.
Yes.
You kind of like bonk one of the shards of glass like right out of its arm, but the creature still sort of like floats in your
I
face.
bonk the glass out of his arm rather than like break it or anything.
Well, it shatters off the ground.
Okay.
And now it's its turn.
Oh, great.
Does 11 hit your AC?
It does not.
It tries to like rake its arm across you again, but like I think it's kind of like off put by the lack of a bit of its arm, and it kind of flails a bit wildly. It is now Philippe's turn again.
Philippe is gonna whip out his slingshot, and with his slingshot, to go with the whole sort of painter vibe, I have a level 0 spell that is called Magic Stone. Can he just like dunk the stones in like paint so it's like a little paintball?
Yeah, I love that.
He's gonna take one of his little magic stones. He's gonna pew pew pew. Probably hit the one that attacked him.
Do you have the spell description there?
Yep. Can use 1 to 3 pebbles thrown or in a sling. Target takes 1d6 plus Dex mod.
It's ranged spell attack, 1 to pebbles.
Cool. Ooh, it's not a natural 20. It's just 20.
Oh, which one are you attacking? The one that's on Tom or the one that's blinded in the center?
Oh, I'll probably go for the one that's on Tom actually. Yeah. That's a whole 4.
I think you kind of like the pebble kind of hits into the fire, and it kind of like makes a straight line through the fiery head, and then it kind of reforms again.
Thanks for trying, little buddy.
The fire above the other glass thing kind of like flickers back to an orange color, and I think that like you can see almost like the front of a flame. You can see it twist and turn, and then I think it kind of focuses in on the largest thing in the room. The elk that suddenly appeared. Does 13 hit the elk's AC?
Yeah.
It does. 6 points of damage. Oh, sorry, 4 points of damage. I can't count.
Okay.
Seriously, only 4. Jeez.
Yeah. It is now Yaga's turn.
It meleeed me, didn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so I can't charge it. No, I'm just gonna do a straight ram. Whoops. That's a 5.
Okay, so you miss. It is now Faelark's turn again.
He's hurting. Faelark's going to strike at the one in front of him again with his blackjack, but this time he's going to cast Booming Blade on it.
Okay, what's that?
That is a cantrip, and I'll tell you what happens when it happens. Okay, that's a 14.
That hits.
Thank God. Okay, so and my damage is the damage is only 4.
What's the spell do, Tom?
I'll tell you when it happens. It hasn't happened yet.
Okay, cool. Cool, Tom, cool. Oh, it must be when it hits them. It must be when it hits him. It is now the glass that's on your turn, on you even, and it is just going to raise an arm up
Okay.
and give you a good whack.
Okay.
Hey.
So would you say that the creature has
my
willingly moved?
What?
No.
What?
Willingly moving in D&D is specifically movement, so using feat of movement to leave the square. It is not moving. It is just hitting.
Oh, I didn't have time to move a square back.
If you want to, you can retcon to this. However, you would take an attack of opportunity.
Just don't know if I can really afford that.
You could take the gamble, Tom.
For the fun of it, let's do that. We'll retcon a bit, and after Faelark's attack connects, he takes a few steps back away from the creature.
It will take an attack of opportunity as you left the square of combat around
Right.
it. So
Even if I move backwards, still facing it.
yes, it gets a 17 to hit.
That does hit.
And its damage comes in at another 10 points of damage.
Okay, luckily, my face skin thing has left me with 2 hit points.
I think what happens is you try to maneuver backwards, but the creature is prepared for that, and its like floating glass arms stretch outwards without you realizing it, and you literally walk back into spinning bits of glass.
Oh, great. So it doesn't even move towards me.
Yes, it is now its turn, and it will maneuver the 5 feet
Okay.
between you.
Now Booming Blade activates.
You've activated my
What?
trap
Who
card.
could have seen that coming?
Not even... He activates my trap card, and he takes 1d8 of thunder damage.
Oh, nice.
Okay, it's an 8 though, so that's
Oh
alright.
yeah,
Oh,
boy.
beautiful.
So, yeah, Faelark steps back, falls into the glass blades, and as the creature comes towards him, yeah, just from the spot where Faelark blackjacked it, that's where the thunder's going to burst out from.
It steps towards you, and you kind of see like this glint on one of the shards of glass, and then suddenly there's like this.
Yeah, I imagine it as like a firecracker or something, just like more of a bang than thunder.
And I think that like kind of like half of its body, like the body from like maybe its right hand side, entirely just flies off, like shattering against the walls. But it still sort of like shambles towards you with this like half a form. I'm gonna give it disadvantage on its attack for that because I really like the way that kind of like plays out in terms of like thunder versus glass.
Yeah, thunder versus glass. Who wins?
Which does make that a solid 7 to hit.
Okay, yeah, that does miss.
Phillipe, it's your turn.
I'll probably shoot at the one that is all partially destroyed just to see if we can like get rid of one of these boys.
Okay. make an attack roll.
That's a 12.
That hits.
Oh, thank God. God damn it. That's a whole 4 again.
Okay, this creature, like, it is barely standing, but it is standing. It is now the other glass's turn, and the one that's on Yaga, and it is just going to, like, just try to shred up the elk a little bit more.
Nope.
Does 8 hit the elk? Then it does not shred the elk, and it is the elk's turn.
Come on, that's an 8.
That does not hit. Faelark, it's your turn. There's a very wobbly glass thing in front of you, and one fighting a disgruntled elk.
I've got 2 little health. I'm just going to have to hit the one in front of me. That is 12.
That's hits.
Oh, my God. Oh, for fuck's sake. That is 4 altogether.
How would you like to do this?
I think he's probably holding, like some of the slashes on his side with one hand as he steps back a bit. And as he avoids that last attack, he's just going to lunge in on the rebound of it and just take a long swipe across its quote-unquote chest.
Yeah, and when you do so, like, you can, like, knock one of the shards of glass, like, right out of its body. It shatters, and, like, so much of its glass has been, like, knocked aside that it just can't keep its form, and the fire of its head plummets to the ground, and it slowly starts to extinguish. When it dies, some of the glass is still around, like, the shards all around, begin to kind of, like, tremble a little bit, and they kind of shoot together near your feet, creating a red, perfect sphere of glass.
Oh.
Sorry, circle of glass, not sphere.
Okay.
It is now Philippe's turn.
I'm probably going to try and blind the last one again, just so it's like a little less heavy on. 20, 30, 37.
Okay, the colours enter the fire once again, and it becomes a bright white light again. At which point it is now its turn, and it flails at the elk again. But it has disadvantage on the attack, but it's still got a 19 to hit.
Oof.
The damage the elk takes is 9 points of damage.
Okay, I'm an old lady again. Surprise! I'm getting fucking sick of this guy. So I'm just gonna fucking melee. Oh, it's a nat 20!
Yes!
Yes!
Old lady melee.
That means you roll your damaged dice twice. You only get to add your modifier once, but you're doing double the weapon damage.
That's a 3 and a 3, so 8 altogether.
Nice. You
It's a
like
sickle.
what is your weapon? Yeah, you like swipe through it like really fast, and I think the curve of the sickle, like you hook in essence like it's where its shoulders would be if it was a real human, and just take out a line of the glass and just swipe it to the side,
Nice.
shattering it against the wall.
Nice.
Faelark, it's your turn.
Okay, I've had quite enough of this. Faelark sheaths his blackjack again, and I'm not gonna say he materializes his wand, just sort of pulls out of the air, and he's gonna cast Chaos Bolt at the remaining shiny boy. Here we go. That is a 14.
You start by rolling a 1d8.
Yep, to decide my damage type.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just
Ooh.
quote for a second that the book does use the word, this is a warbling mass of chaotic energy.
Warbling mass.
It's an undulating warbling
It's
mass.
warbling, guys. Don't worry, guys. The spell warbles.
What type of damage does it do?
I rolled a 4. What's that on your list?
That is force damage. The damage is 2d8 plus 1d6.
Yeah.
Which is a lot
1,
of
2, 3,
damage.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. Not great.
10 damage. That is... And I'm going to tell you this right now. They have a weakness to force damage because they're made of glass, and that is exactly the amount of damage you needed to do to kill it.
Yes!
This one just like bolt of energy, it kind of like flickers through, like, as it flies. It's at one point it's lightning, at one point it's acid, and then it kind of settles on this mass of like blue energy that explodes outwards, and the glass of this creature just it's like being blown for like a good few seconds till it shatters against the back wall of the room. At which point, the glass again kind of trembles, and its remains kind of lift up and create a circle, like a hollow circle, more like a circular frame of glass than an actual circle of glass.
Cool.
Put the glass together.
So Faelark's spellcast, I think he's kind of like, after that, they think the wand's still glowing a bit. It's like sort of his wand and his hand are kind of caught in this pinkish glow, which he sort of shakes off with a very frustrated expression. And then I think he goes and scoops up the glass plate that's at his feet.
And sure enough, yeah, you pick up the circular ring, and those two slot together perfectly. And when they do, like, they almost seem to like fuse together by themselves. Wow, what a wild ride. We have fun here on Whack and Roll, but I need to talk to you about stuff. I didn't really think about how to end that goof. Friendly reminder that you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at wackaroll, no hyphens, or send us an email at wackaroll@gmail.com. Also, if you've got the time, leaving us reviews on iTunes or wherever you downloaded this podcast from helps us so much. Engagement of any kind, whether positive or negative, really helps us to better the podcast through criticism, and it helps us to fight against algorithms and all that weird technological jazz. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the next installment of Vagabonds. I'll see you then.